It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interviews.
There's going to be much higher expectations, sense of awareness of what we bring to the table.
Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Brooks, answer. Yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on in. Another edition of the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker. Thanks for tuning in, joining us on a Monday, a hot Monday. You know, we were commenting on Sunday. We got these alerts on our phones or on other devices about a heat advisory. And we're like, wasn't it just a few days ago that we had a freeze warning?
Yeah, basically.
Welcome to spring in Utah.
Yeah, it's
of course, now we're officially into summer.
Yeah, we are in summer, but it does feel like we're having the spring, back and forth that you get. I've only ever had like one spring in my life. It wasn't in Utah, but it was basically that ideal 70, somewhere between 60 and 75-ish, pretty much 70 every day. That happened in Missouri. It was basically a perfect spring. It was like spring of 2016 thereabouts.
Wow.
It wasn't too humid. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. Didn't rain a ton, but it rained some. It's Midwest out there. Thunderstorms at night, but just perfect weather.
Yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds lovely.
It was nice. I remember it, like 10 years later. I still remember it as being the best spring of my life pretty much. Out there, spend 3 months out there in Missouri.
A couple of things. We're not just going to talk about the weather today. We will talk about sports.
You sure
things.
This isn't the weather show?
No. We've got some news today from Utah State women's basketball. They dropped their non-conference schedule. Jason was able to get up to practice today in the Spectrum to talk to coach and players. We'll hear from them. We'll see how we did with Pick 6 today. Also on Friday, Utah State making a big announcement, a very lofty goal for fundraising, and I wanted to get your reactions to that. Some current and former Aggies trying to make it to the Olympics, and some of that took place over the weekend, more of it going on today, so we'll give you some updates on there and who's got a path to Paris or maybe not. And if we get some more time, we'll try to wedge it in there, some other fun things that happened over the weekend. But first and foremost, Jason, some big news for Utah State women's basketball. Coach Wesley Brooks announced in our interview with him, kind of let the cat out of the bag, that he had a big non-conference one particular game on the schedule that hadn't been publicly released yet. That was University of Utah being played in Salt Lake for this women's basketball program. But today they announced the rest of the non-conference schedule.
Yeah, and Utah is not the only notable name among all these among all the teams. It's very much super tough or very winnable. Like that's when you look down, at least based off their NET at the end of last year. I kind of compiled just as a first glimpse look at maybe how tough these teams will be. I mean, for reference, I think Utah State was 340 in the NET or thereabouts. I happened to glance, and I didn't pay too much attention to where they were, but it's somewhere in the mid-300s. Not very good last year, obviously.
Not good.
But officially starting the year with an exhibition game against Westminster on October 25th. Then beginning the year with 3 straight home games. Kansas City on November 4th, so that's the official start of the season. Then Cal State Northridge, Cal State Bakersfield on the 8th of November and 14th of November. And so these 3 games are all pretty winnable. Kansas City, 274 in last year's net. Northridge and Bakersfield, 339 and 306 respectively. Those are winnable games. Now, last year they kind of struggled with some of these same teams. I think they played Kansas City in Kansas City Missouri or Kansas. I don't know where this university is based out of, if they're in the Missouri or Kansas side of things. But and I can't remember the result. I remember that Kansas City game was really close. I can't remember which way it went. I think the Aggies lost that game. But, yeah, games that should be winnable. They're at home, and I think this is a good way to start the season off. There is a chance that the Aggies could start the year 3-0 or 2-1 plus the exhibition win, get some wins under their belt. And, Eric, that would be absolutely crucial because after those 3 home games plus the exhibition, the schedule gets very difficult very quickly, and all of it happens away from the Spectrum.
Yeah, that Kansas City game was one of the very few victories for Utah
Oh, it was
State.
a victory.
Yes, Aggies won that one 62-60, so very close.
Yeah, very close game.
One of the few wins on the schedule for the Aggies last year. Cal State Northridge, that's another return game. Aggies opened the season at Cal State Northridge. They lost that game. So Northridge will be making the return trip to Logan. So a couple of games on here. Northern Colorado is a similar situation. They played, they hosted Northern Colorado in mid-December, and this year they make the return trip in mid-November. So a couple of games on the schedule that were predetermined before Wes Brooks took the reins of the program, but it's clear he does have his thumbprint on this schedule based on some of the things that he told us. When was that? Last week and a half ago?
Yeah, it was like a week or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly when that interview was, but yeah, definitely wanting to challenge his team. You know, like I said, he opens the schedule fairly soft. Of course, a lot of these, as mentioned, they're return games. But once they finish that 3-game homestand to begin the year, they will not return to play a game in the Spectrum for 43 days.
Right. They are going to be nomads for a while.
Yeah, I believe it comes out to 8 games, so 43 days. So obviously they won't be away from home the entire time, clearly. But they play Northern Colorado, 179 in the net. That's, if they're on the high end of their maybe preseason hopes. That's the game that they can challenge. It will be away, so it'd be a difficult one. But they play at Colorado, so they stay within the state of Colorado. It's only a couple of games after, so I assume they'll just stay in Colorado for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, it's not that far of a drive.
So, yeah, former Pac-12, now Big 12 with Colorado. They were 15th in the net last year. Very good Colorado squad. Then they play Omaha, who that actually swings back the other way. I keep mentioning there's either super tough or super easy. The only in the middle is Northern Colorado because you've got they're 281 in the net last year. So that's another team that should be on the easier end, but this one's away, so it'll be a more difficult game. And then they have a 2-game multi-team event, the Daytona Beach Classic. Now, they didn't announce who was in that tournament, and it's not been publicly known who's in that event, but some reporting that was done last month by Whole Hog Sports. They cover the University of Arkansas.
Oh,
so maybe give
that.
you a hint. They reported that University of Arkansas and Oklahoma State were going to be participating in that event because they said that Arkansas had a contract to play in the Daytona Beach Classic, and Oklahoma State was one of those opponents with a Division I mid-major team to be determined. That was on May 20th. We're now a month down the road. Utah State appears to be that other mid-major team. So unless something's changed, which that can happen, things can change. Like teams might pull out last minute or whatnot. But based on that reporting from months ago, it seems the Aggies will play Arkansas and Oklahoma State in that one. So chalk on 2 more. Those are teams that Arkansas 77 in the net, Oklahoma State 58. So again, we're on the hard end of the scale, Power 5 teams. So those are neutral site games, but still very tough teams. And then we get to the game against Utah, the one that Wes Brooks talked about on our show on December 5th. Then Grand Canyon, top 100 team in the net last year on December 8th. And then finish out this long road stretch with Idaho, so not too far away from home. And they were 186 in the net last year. And then finally, they return home for one last non-conference game against UC Riverside, December 18th. They were 209 in the net, and then they'll begin their 20-game conference schedule after that.
Yeah, UC Riverside, another one of those that were, and Idaho. Those so good chunk of this schedule was already predetermined.
Yeah, so I imagine Westbrook's his contribution was basically that 43-game stretch of here. We're going to go play all the tough teams.
Yeah, because UC Riverside, Idaho, Northern Colorado, Cal State Northridge, Kansas City, all those games were on the schedule last year, and there's just the return second half of those agreements in place for this season. But some pretty exciting tests for this team. Good opportunity to kind of get warmed up and figure out what this roster is like, what this system is like, and then they're going to start to get tested. So late November, early December, they are going to be very tested. And then turn around, and once you get into late December, we're back into starting into conference play, which UNLV has been the top dog for a long time. They're a very strong program. Wyoming has had some moments where they're pretty decent, Colorado State. But beyond that, Mountain West isn't really known to be a great women's basketball conference. So if West Brooks can get things going, there's some real opportunity for the Aggies to move up in the standings.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these teams in the Mountain West, I was looking at the net for all these teams, they're hovering in the mid-100s, low 200s. So obviously a step above where Utah State was, but if they make this massive year one jump, then they'll be in the thick of it. I would not put it on this team to win the conference year one. They're clearly looking and kind of gunning for that. But, yeah, there's room for them to move up. Like I think Wes Brooks, on our show talked about, top 5. Like that's the fairly realistic goal. It's obviously still a stretch goal. Like that is a massive jump from 11th to 5th, given how far down Utah State was in 11th. With they've had, I think I can count on one hand the number of conference wins they have in 3 years.
Yeah, it's embarrassingly bad.
It's not particularly great. So that's where they're at. But if they were to make that jump, which obviously they're very much hoping they will, then yeah, it's a conference they can begin to climb fairly quickly. And heaven help us if this happens, but if they end up being really, really good, this is an NCAA tournament resume schedule.
It
is. How many teams they play. Now, I'm
know
sorry.
If they'll get there,
even if it happens, I will sit in this chair and say it's not going to happen, and I will wait until the moment they hear their name called in the tournament and still deny it's going to happen. And then, I don't know, I'll jump in Bear Lake in the middle of winter or something if that happens. But this is the kind of schedule that, down the line, if things are going well, if things eventually build up to where West Brooks wants things to be, these are the kind of schedules you want to see. For year one, yeah, they're going to get their teeth kicked in more than once. More than a couple of times, too. But something else that West Brooks said, hey, look, we're going to, they're going to take some licks, but they want to hand some out, too. Maybe surprise some teams. Maybe they knock off one of these teams that aren't paying attention. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be exciting to watch a coach that comes up with game plans and sticks with them and can also adjust on the fly as well.
And just seeing how these teams handle what is going to be a very fast and wild system. I mean, I didn't go up to practice just to hear the coach and players. I actually went and watched the whole thing, about an hour long. And it's crazy what they're trying to implement, the principles they're doing, because it's fast. One of the drills was getting a shot off, so inbound the ball from the other side of the court, get down, shoot a shot in 8 seconds. They put an 8-second shot clock out there. And we're running drills for, 5 or so minutes or whatnot, just straight, 8 seconds. And there was one where they barely didn't get it off, and Westbrook saying, it doesn't count, getting back up the floor. Where it's they're wanting to shoot tons of threes, do it fast, and then obviously there was another part where they're focusing on defense, not just an all-out offense. Once they finished with their offense and doing the offense really fast, it was, all right, go through, let's talk about our full court press. That was a little slower because it was more about, the principles of the full court press, but then they were, work on that, double team, 94 feet. It's insane stuff, man.
That's good. That's exciting. But this is an interesting schedule. It's been put together. Again, it begins with an exhibition against Westminster on October 25th. Schedule begins in earnest, where it really starts to count on November 4th. Going to the Full Court Press text line 9315, saying, I like the challenging schedule for women's basketball. It'll definitely make them better for conference play.
Yeah, definitely. I know you mentioned Mountain West isn't a super strong conference in women's basketball. It's basically UNLV and everybody else.
Yeah.
But, you play tough teams. then it will prepare you, and you'll be hopefully on par with. Will have taken your licks, taken all those lumps, and learned the lessons, because they're going to get boat racing a couple of these. Like when they try their 94 feet defense, and a couple of these really good teams are going to burn them to heck and back probably. But then they'll learn from that, and then that'll prepare them for when they play all the conference teams, and hopefully make some waves, finish top 5. They're going to get picked to finish last in the conference. I'm just going to say it now. It's going to happen. But maybe they'll finish top 5 because they'll learn those things, be prepared. They'll have the fire of youth in them because it's a bunch of freshmen and sophomores on this team.
That's right.
So who knows how it'll pan out.
We have audio from coach and players from practice. Jason had a chance to get up there, and let's do this. Let's first hear from Ivory Finley and learn a little bit more about her and how she kind of sees this team coming together.
How's it feel to be back on the court, back getting at it again?
It feels great. Honestly, it's a new environment. Feels way more energy, way faster, and that's how I like to play.
How, for you were such a defensive juggernaut for the team last year and also a big helper on the offensive side of the ball. Where is your personal goal of what you want to try and get better at coming into the season?
More steals, more rebounds, and involving my teammates more because we have a team of freshmen. So I want to be able to build them up my last year here, leave a footprint.
How do you help with Cheyenne and Gracie to build chemistry and camaraderie with this team? Because there is a bunch of freshmen, a bunch of newcomers here. How do you help build that camaraderie with the team, especially during the off season?
Team bonding. We have a house now, so we invite everybody to our house, play games, talk, ask questions, hang out with the freshmen, show them around Logan, the hot spots.
What are the hot spots in Logan for you?
Ooh, I'm going to have to say, Costa Vida is a hot spot for me. I love Costa Vida, Chipotle, Ruby's, for sure.
Absolutely.
Walmart.
That's a new. And then a schedule is, a month straight worth of road games from November 14th to December 15th. You guys are on the road. How do you help build your team and help them train for what the road environment is like in Division I basketball?
Preparing them to just communicate with their families over the phone and talking to us if they need anything, absolutely anything. We're going to help them pack their bags, make sure they don't forget anything. We're going to always just have fun in the airport, wherever we are. Just talk, vibe.
So obviously Wes talks about taking 43s a game, press for 94 feet. How big of adjustments are those for you, or is it not much of an adjustment at all, playing just that kind of style of basketball?
It's a pretty big adjustment, but this is how I like to play. I think it's going to show my athleticism. It's going to show all of our athleticism, and it's going to show that we're capable of doing more, and that's what we're going to do on the court.
So Shai kind of said the same thing. Was this is the way I want to play. Is that a lot of the players like that, where it's this is how you guys want to play, just this open basketball?
Yes, this is going to be fun, and we're going to embrace it. All the challenges, everything that comes with it, we're going to embrace it with open arms.
So I asked Shai this as well. What do you want to prove this season? Goals and things you want to prove about this team this season?
That we're better than what we showed last year, and we can flip things around in a second, and we're going to shock people regardless.
You talked about the energy of this team from the coaching staff perspective. What have you enjoyed most about them and what they've brought so far?
That they're honest, that they're always the same type of energies, never up or down, that they can joke with us and we can laugh, but we also can have serious times and work.
Are you excited to play something great competition on the schedule? You're playing Oklahoma State, you're playing at Utah, at Colorado. No slim on the schedule. Is that kind of excited you to play that good a competition on the road?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for our team to step up to the challenge and, shock some people.
So, Ivory Finley taking some time to talk about this new squad, the team, the new coaches, and the schedule too.
Yeah, and she's one of the top returners. Obviously, Ajay asking her about the, being one of those veterans, helping a lot of these younger players. They got 5 freshmen, a sophomore with Gracie Johnson. So a lot of young players, and then a lot of newcomers as well, a lot of whom were making the jump from Division II or JUCO ball. Stubbs. Of course, Stubbs, I think, sorry, not Stubbs. That's talking about Ivory Finley. Yeah. She was the other one we talked to, Cheyenne Stubbs. The Finley, obviously, not only one of the returners, but she was one of the top players last year. And I believe was second on the team in scoring, one of the top players in minutes per game and whatnot. So going to be a big part of this team, again, this season as a veteran and as a key contributor, although as far as talking about who gets playing time, Wes Brooks, you'll hear it in a minute here, where it's like everyone's going to play.
Right.
Like, he literally said that. Like he said everyone's going to play, and I don't think he's kidding.
With the tempo that he wants, he's going to have to go deep.
Yes, he is. So.
Make sure he's got enough gas in the tank. All right, we're going to take a timeout here on the Full Court Press, but when we come back, we'll hear from Coach Wesley Brooks. We'll also hear from Cheyenne Stubbs, Utah State women's basketball, getting in the gym and getting together, getting some workouts in, learning the new program here for Wes Brooks, and they announced their non-conference schedule today. We'll also get into the big news that happened on Friday, where Utah State Athletics announcing a very aggressive fundraising goal. Get your reactions to that as well. It's all coming up here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.
Hi, this is Shawnee Arvey from Cache Valley Bank. I've been with Cache Valley Bank for 26 years and have enjoyed helping my customers reach their financial goals, and I hope to do the same for you. I work with a great team that is dedicated to providing you with the personalized attention you deserve. Stop by our Center Street branch or give me a call and let me show you what opening an account with us can do for you. I look forward to meeting you. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. Have you seen the semis parked in front of our 2 stores in Logan? They're chock full of mattresses, fabric headboards, and bedding at pennies on the dollar. Twin mattresses, $99. Queens only $199. Every size and quality available for pickup or delivery. Headboards, new in box, normally $400, only $50. Mattress protectors, normally $79, only $15. Truckloads of everything to help you sleep better, only at both Logan My Mattress locations. Isn't it time to sleep exceptionally?
Summer in Cache Valley is beautiful, and the Sportsman on Main Street has all your bike needs covered. Get your bike in now for service or a tune-up. We can usually get your service done in about 2 days. Be ready for the beautiful riding days ahead. If you need a new bike, we have kids to adult full suspension mountain bikes and e-bikes for around town or the mountains. From bikes to helmets to locks and clothing, come and see us at the Sportsman on Main Street in downtown Logan for all your biking needs.
Daryl's one-day Independence Day sale is right around the corner. This is Jay at Daryl's Appliance. Listen for live radio broadcasts on Saturday, June 29th for big savings on quality appliances. Save up to 30% off select appliances including Whirlpool, GE, Maytag, and more. One day only. Save even more with up to $600 in exclusive mail-in rebates. 12-month financing available. That's Daryl's Independence Day sale, June 29th. The Valley's guaranteed lowest prices with the best service. Daryl's West on Airport Road.
No matter what the condition, DD Auto and Salvage can get your vehicle off your property. Now is the time to make some extra cash by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that old junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it easy to get rid of your junker vehicle, paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204.
And call today. See store for details. Nearly 21 years ago, Cafe Sabor opened their doors in historic Logan train station. With the help of hundreds of amazing employees and patronage of thousands of wonderful customers, Cafe Sabor is proud to have been voted 3 years in a row Cache Valley's favorite Mexican restaurant in the Best of Northern Utah contest. Follow Cafe Sabor on social media for giveaways and promotions. Search Cafe Sabor for a restaurant near you. Thank you, Cache Valley, from your friends at Cafe Sabor.
Do you have a fireplace or stove that isn't working right? Why wait until next winter to get it fixed? Get ahead of the game and get your fireplace or stove serviced now by Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They service everything from Quadra-Fire pellet stoves to heat and glow fireplaces. Get a 20% discount on your next service and labor when you mention this ad. Call 752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com. Advanced Fireplace and Stove, where comfort is their business.
The Aggies are #1 here. The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker, 435-339-0321. If you want to join the Full Court Press text line, give us your reactions to the comments from the coach and players. We heard from Ivory Finley just a minute ago. I got audio from Cheyenne Stubbs and Wesley Brooks coming up. But to the Full Court Press text line 8968 says, let's hope the coach has a Danny Sprinkle year for the women's basketball team.
Yeah, although to be honest, it'd be almost more comparable to what Craig Smith did, where it's not a perfect comparison, but especially because it's not like, as much as people like to disparage the Tim Duryea years, they weren't that bad. But he took it from a program that was kind of in mediocrity, 1 year, bam, to the top, tied for first place in the Mountain West regular season and winning the conference tournament title. If that similar kind of jump as far as where they were to where they went happened, then yeah, Utah State would probably finish top 5, maybe even top 3, because I don't think the conference is super strong. But yeah, maybe they'll have some kind of year where it's some kind of year. They'll have some kind of year, some kind of good year where they prove some people wrong, which is something that actually both Finley and Cheyenne Stubbs talked about. They want to prove people wrong.
93159 9 is a magical pick in the preseason conference.
Yeah, I talked about them.
So it's worked well for the men.
The Aggies, the Lady Aggies are going to get picked 11th, and probably by every single voter. But 9 would be nice, yeah, because that is definitely the magical number for the men. Because I think the 3 times they've been picked to finish 9th, they have won the regular season title twice and finished 2nd the other time. So maybe there was a 4th one they got picked 9th. There might have been a 4th one. I have to go look that up again.
Well, while you ponder that, let's hear from Cheyenne Stubbs, who was also made available after practice today. Certainly one of the leading scorers from last year's team, and hoping to continue to have a large impact on this year's squad with Coach Brooks and a lot of other new faces.
It feels amazing to be back out here on the court. I mean, the energy is great since day one with Coach West, and just being around all the new girls and especially like the freshmen. It's been great energy, man. I love it. I love the environment.
What's your expectation of you as a leader on this team now? Starting guard, and having to help these newcomers come on this team and learn the program and system.
I think I'm mostly focused on, like you said, being a leader, as in uplifting everyone else around me so that we can all be successful. I don't think it's really just about me as just like myself. I think it's really about us as a whole so we can all be on the same page in one unit. So that's what I'm really focusing on, bringing everybody along so we're all on the same page.
4th leading scorer in the Mountain West last year, and now it's like a run and chuck kind of a system this year.
Yeah.
You got a grin on your face. You're shooting a lot of threes. Is this
green
kind of
light,
system you're going to enjoy?
Yes, of course. It's like having a green light, but everybody has the green light. We can all shoot the ball pretty well, so I'll be looking forward to that. Shooting 43s a game, hey, we're gonna put up a lot of shots.
How much does it affect you now defensively? Well, because he wants you to press for 40 minutes too. Like, how do you keep your conditioning and be able to for 40 minutes of basketball?
It's pretty tough, but I mean, I've grown up my whole life playing that way and pressing, so I'm just excited to get back into my element, of pressing. I love to press, run and gun, jump people. It just makes it more fun, If we can bust the clock on people this year, that's what we're gonna do. Put their foot on their neck. So that's it.
So obviously you had an idea of what Wes was going to bring in, but what's kind of been like now you've gone through practice and all that? What's that experience been like for you?
It's been pretty well. I'm still getting to know a lot of the girls and everything, but they're really good people. I've been messing with the freshmen and everything. They're cool. They're fun to be around. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I could tell that they're hard workers too. So it's just going to be exciting to see them keep pushing.
A month straight of road games from November 14th to December 15th. Guys aren't home a whole lot. It's going to be something kind of new for the program.
Yes, it is. I'm excited to go to Daytona. I'm excited to go back home. I wanted to see my family watch me play. That's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to play all these top schools, so I think we can beat them.
What are the biggest things that you want to prove with this team this year?
Prove this year that last year does not define this year at all. We are a completely brand new team, and we're coming for the #1 spot. That's it.
What's your goals personally for the summer to get ready for the season?
Just to keep working on my shot, keep being a leader, and to condition myself so I can get to where I want to get to at the next level after this.
How much time do you feel like it's going to take to get the conditioning down? Is that something you feel like you're kind of there? Or?
Not long. I'll just have to get back used to the elevation and everything like that, so I'll be good in probably 2 weeks.
Okay, so that's Cheyenne Stubbs.
Yeah, and just one of the things that came across me with both those interviews, because I ended up asking the question to both Cheyenne and Ivory, what do you want to prove? And it was basically the exact same answer with slightly different words. I want to prove people wrong. That last year, because that's kind of the elephant in the room with this program, is how rapport this program has done. And both these players were part of last year's team. Cheyenne Stubbs was the leading scorer, but it was a team that didn't do so well. So she wants to be a big part of this team that does more in terms of getting higher numbers in the win column. And obviously that's something that Ivory wants as well, albeit with her role being more defensive and rebounding and whatnot, as opposed to Cheyenne Stubbs being one of the leading scorers. So they both want to take a big step up. And this is their last year. Well, Stubbs might actually have an extra year, but this is one of their last years, and they want to get something done this year. There's urgency for them. Let's get it done this year. Make that jump. Get fans rooting for this program again. Get them in the spectrum. Get more wins. All that stuff. So there's that urgency. It's not just this long-term, eventually we'll get there.
Yeah.
No, they want something happening this year.
Right. Start to put some credibility on their name, that they know what they're doing, they're a respectable program, and they can sniff success and start to see opportunities to get wins and stack victories for the team and the program. But the guy in charge of all that is Wesley Brooks. We got a chance to talk to him a couple weeks ago here on the program. But now he's got his team on the court together, seeing them in action in the Utah State blue and whites. And Jason and Ajay got a chance to catch up with him today after practice.
We had a very good day, first day. The girls were attentive. They were locked in, did what they needed to do to get what we wanted to get done today. So I'm very excited about the first day.
What are those biggest things you wanted to get done today?
The first thing we wanted to do is establish the pace, and I think we did a good job of establishing the pace, starting to implement our 5-out offense, starting to implement our press, but our pace, and the girls played with great pace today, and I think that's going to be a big advantage for us as we move forward.
So, any players stand out right now, or is it just kind of?
It's too early to say anybody standing out. I like the way we shot the ball today. I think we need to continue to shoot the ball well, and we did that today. So we'll continue this to get 1% better, and we got 1% better today.
What are the biggest areas of improvement you want to see from where they are now? Obviously, it's kind of everything.
Yeah, we want to continue to improve our conditioning. We want to continue to improve our shooting. We just want to build good habits every day. That's the most important thing.
I believe the non-conference schedule was released today. Any thoughts on all of it?
We're very, very excited about the non-conference schedule. We have an opportunity to go play at Utah, great program, at Colorado. Both of those teams have been to the Sweet 16. Both of those teams have been at the top of the former Pac-12. They're headed to the Big 12 now, but those are games that's going to really challenge us. We're excited about the tournament going down to Daytona Beach. I think that's going to be a very great opportunity. And then you play good teams, solid teams like Grand Canyon. And basically the non-conference is to prepare you for the conference schedule. So we're excited about the non-conference schedule. We want to try and knock off some wins, get some wins there, because we're always thinking NCAA tournament, and we want to build a resume as well for that. So that's kind of why we put our non-conference schedule like that.
A lot of consecutive road games in that.
Yeah, it happens. As a first-year program, kind of happens to be like that, but it build that we'll build a toughness, we'll build a callous, and then we'll continue to just get better. You got to win on the road. You know what I mean? You got to learn to win on the road. Good teams win on the road. Doesn't matter. Any gym got to be home.
I want to tie back to the pace. Do the veterans kind of handle that a little bit better than the freshmen, or is it just kind of everyone's maybe nice?
I think everybody has to adjust to it. I think the veterans knew what to expect from the 3 workouts that we had in the postseason, and so that's kind of they kind of gave a hint to everybody what to expect. But I was very, very happy with what we got done today. It was really good.
How excited are you about this guard line? You have some deep, in regards to positions, deep guard line.
Yeah, we went out. I mean, the way we play, we have to have guards that can shoot the ball, and so we're very positionless, as we say. We're positionless, a little small ball at times, but we also have 3 very good post players. So we're excited about that, and our post players can stretch it. Sophie and Gracie are really good at stretching the floor, so they can do it as well.
So how does that kind of positionless basketball kind of impact the battle for playing time, where there's a lot
we don't worry. Everybody's going to play. We're going to play everybody. I mean, that's how we play. We're going to sub 5 in, 5 out. Everybody's going to have an opportunity to play. That's part of the development. I think we want to wear teams down, especially with the elevation. You come up here, you're going to get pressed for 40 minutes, and other coaches don't want to play kids. That's why kids transfer. We're going to play kids, and that's kind of what it's going to be. So if you don't play your kids, we're going to play ours, and it's not our fault that you get tired.
How excited are you about the camaraderie and the chemistry of this team?
It's early. We haven't had any adversity yet, right? So we need to have some adversity. Once we have some adversity, we'll see the true test of our camaraderie and chemistry. But so far, so good.
At what point does that adversity usually start hitting? Is it in camp? Is it early in the season? When does that kind of hit?
You never know when adversity is going to hit. It's going to hit, and it hits every team, and so we have to be prepared for it, and then we'll have to bond together and fight through it, because that's where teams are made.
There it is, Coach Wesley Brooks. And Utah State women's basketball having a practice today in the Spectrum. And speed, hustle, and going deep into his roster. And look, this let's just be frank. I mean, this is a roster that has a lot of new faces. And even those who are returning, are they how – I don't know the right term to use. Legitimate, not really a fair word to use, but how sure are the players that are coming back to be the starters or the main players that are there? So the bottom line here is it's a new coaching staff and an opportunity to look at things with fresh eyes and say, look, this is our style, and let's just figure out what are the best pieces. But even if you're not a starter under Wes Brooks' system, you're going to play. You're going to contribute because he's going to run them pretty ragged, it sounds like.
Yeah, everyone's going to play. Maybe not literally everyone, but pretty much everyone. And I imagine those first 3 or 4 home games, I bet you're going to see all 14 players on the roster play in all those games. I wouldn't be surprised, given not only are they going to be figuring out rotations, but it's also Wes Brooks, living up to what he's saying here, where everyone is going to play. There's going to be some who average 20-plus minutes, some who average 7 or 8, but they're all going to play. At least that's what Wes Brooks seems to be implying here. Not implying, literally saying.
Yeah, literally saying, yes. Not mincing any words about it. So yeah, I mean, it's new energy. There's some new excitement.
Yeah, it's what the Aggies need. They needed to turn over a new leaf, and we don't know if right now everything here is talk. It's all talk. Nothing is being proven. Nothing is happening. Nothing is changing. Nothing will be proven until November, at the very least.
Yeah.
At the very earliest.
It may take till December or January before we really know.
So Wes Brooks is talking up a lot of things, averaging 43 per game, which I'm not going to go into again, but that is a patently ridiculous number. It'd be very interesting to see if that actually happens. But you know what? If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll find out.
435-339-0321. Your reactions to the interviews today from Utah State women's basketball, both Cheyenne Stubbs and Ivory Finley, along with head coach Wesley Brooks, as they were having a practice on the Spectrum court earlier today, getting this team put together and seeing what they can do, and also releasing the schedule today for the non-conference. And it's a really good mix there of teams that will provide opportunities for Utah State to come together and hopefully get some wins. Some teams that are going to challenge them, absolutely. Teams that, let's be honest, will be really tough for the Aggies to keep close.
Yeah, just
but
a few.
They're good tests for the team to see how what they really have and what they can do to prepare for the upcoming conference schedule.
Yeah, so I'll have a write-up on that later today, just talking about first practice. Also, you'll be able to see the schedule in written form. It's usually easier to consume it that way. Yeah, just some analysis there. But yeah, interesting day one for women's basketball, and it was just like it was interesting day one for men's basketball. It's the beginning of the season, kind of.
New eras.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is new areas for both. One is trying to continue success. One is trying to find it. And like I said, it's step one on a journey of 1,000 miles or a couple hundred days.
Yes, there you go. All right, we're going to take a time out here on the Full Court Press. When we come back, a very ambitious fundraising goal announced on Friday. We've got a few texts on that. We'll haven't addressed them yet because we were talking women's basketball, but we'll circle back on those. We'll get your reactions as well when you heard the news, or if you haven't, as you hear it from us first, how you react to that and what it's potentially could be used for. We'll discuss next on the Full Court Press.
Has this happened to you lately?
Oh,
Not again!
A rock hitting your windshield causing a crack in your glass. Your windshield is no longer just a piece of glass. Your windshield plays a big role in you and your family's safety. You want to make sure that you go somewhere that can provide your vehicle with all the necessary calibrations and programming so that your car is back to pre-accident condition. Hi, this is Josh Watts with Preston Watts Collision and Glass, and for 3 generations we have provided Cache Valley with the #1 auto glass, collision, and towing services. We have kept up with the times and strive to provide you with the best customer service you can find. If you're going through insurance, we will waive up to $100 off your insurance deductible. Our reviews say it all. Give us a call at 435-563-3215. That's 435-563-3215. Or look us up online. At Preston Watts Collision and Glass, we do it right.
Imagine your wedding day. Elegant, simple, yet stunning, stress-free. It's your day. It's all about you. Whether you're looking for small and simple or have a grander idea, the Riverwoods Conference Center will accommodate your every need. Choose the inside ballroom elegance or outside along the natural decor of the beautiful Logan River. A Riverwoods event planner will work personally with you to make sure your event is exactly how you've envisioned it. The Riverwoods Conference Center, where your happily ever after begins. Google Riverwoods Conference Center or call 750-5151.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. I'd like to invite you to learn more about us. Since 1997, we've been Utah's premier one-stop shop for home medical equipment. What sets us apart at Alpine Home Medical is the superior level of customer service. We provide home oxygen, CPAPs, wheelchairs, scooters, breast pumps, and so much more. Come on down and get to know us.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit alpinehomemedical.com.
Are you seeking the best in healthcare services in Northern Utah? Look no further. Aegis Healthcare has been voted the best of Northern Utah. I am Jason Jones. We take pride in providing top quality home care and hospice services to the residents of Northern Utah. Experience the difference with Aegis. Our dedicated team is here to provide compassionate home care and hospice services tailored just for you. Call us today at 723-9000 or visit our website at myaegis.com. Aegis Home Health and Hospice, your trusted partner right here in your community.
Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat and the Allergy Clinic now have an office located inside the Miller Medical Building in Tremonton. Every Friday, Northern Utah's premier ear, nose, and throat medical physicians and staff will provide Box Elder County a better option to be seen. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat and the Allergy Clinic are now located in Tremonton. Save time, schedule your appointment today. Go to CacheValleyENT.com. That's CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted.
Interviews, analysis, and a little bit of fun mixed in. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker. Hey, so I don't know if you saw this. Maybe you were there. If you had a chance to be there in person, I'd love to get your reactions to it. But on Friday, Utah State holding a big event at the Bastion Complex. I can't even remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Bastion Agricultural Center. There we go, in South Jordan. And so there were a lot of things going on there. I mean, President Cantwell was there, other representatives from the university, showcasing some great achievements that took place and accomplishments. And they also announced, hey, we want to raise some money for athletics. And it's not a little bit of money. It's $125 million. They call it the Reach and Rise campaign. And very aggressive fundraising goal. And they want to achieve it in 5 years. So they said that they've already got $20 million secured through the silent phase, as they've called it. So it's a big nut to crack for athletics. A couple of texts that we've got in on this. 5338 texted in at the start of the show. Utah State Athletics Reach and Rise campaign is officially launched. How much can I put you guys down for?
Technically, for a while, it was on the list of donors because I participated in the virtual 5K about 4 years ago. So I'd get cold calls from some of the athletes thanking me for being a donor.
Yeah, there you go.
So the Well, I think we have another text.
Yeah, another text came in, 9315 earlier. What's your thoughts on the Aggies being so aggressive with the money goal? How fast will it happen, and what's all the money going for?
Yeah. So some quick math, some nice third grade math that I did with my calculator. So the $20 million they already have, that's about 16% of the goal. And to get to that $125 million at this point with what they've already raised, that's $21 million a year. Now keep in mind, that's either, I don't know what their current athletic, but a few years ago, the stuff I was looking at, the entire athletics budget was somewhere around $36 million. It's probably gone up. Well, it surely has gone up since then for a number of different reasons. But that's roughly half of the entire operating budget of the athletic department per year in fundraising alone. That's kind of how ridiculous this number is. You know, ridiculous in a positive sense or negative, however you want to construe me using that number. Like, it is a aggressive
number.
And it kind of has to be. That's what they need. Like, this is an era where tons of money is flowing in to a bunch of different schools, and a lot of places are going to be opening up new revenue streams. We talked about that last week with all sponsorships and things like that. There's some money that's going to be flowing out with. Some of it's already kind of sort of flowed out through NIL, where there's some of that money was going to the athletics, then it got diverted to NIL, so you're not getting as much of it in athletics. So if Utah State wants to try and keep up, not only keep up, but if they have any hopes of moving up, they have to be able to do this kind of fundraising. Will they reach the goal? Have my doubts, but I don't know. I don't got a dog in the fight, so I'm just I'll just see if they do. Of course, if they do reach it, they'll announce it. Maybe in a few years I'll have to put in a grammar request to see how far along they're going. But yeah, it's just
it's just interesting timing because there's a lot of donor fatigue.
Well, it's
because you're already asking for money, and now you've got collectives asking for money. Now you have athletes asking for money.
Yeah,
it's like, my gosh, I only have so many dollars I can give.
Yeah. Well, this is the time to be asking. Now, you're not wrong in that, donor fatigue, like, everyone's like, okay, how much more money do I have? Like, and people say, in this economy and all that, like, people feel like the economy's not doing well, where it's like, I don't know if they can reach it for that reason, but this is the time you're wanting to raise that money because this is a very volatile and arms race-esque time in college sports where everyone's trying to sprint to get the most possible money, both through NIL and just into the program to have all the resources that they need for a lot of this stuff.
So as far as answering the question, where does this money go? What's it for? It's still a little ambiguous, but they did offer 3 pillars or 3 core categories what they're trying to raise the money for.
Of course it's pillars. It's always pillars.
They're always pillars. Redefining the student-athlete experience by providing tools for success beyond their athletic careers.
Can I just
say I don't know what that means.
Can I just say that I'm growing more and more contemptful of the phrase student-athlete experience? It's just not so much the concept of a student-athlete experience.
Like coaching? It's a mentoring?
It's a catch-all phrase, so they don't have to actually explain anything.
Yeah, do you need a lot of $100 million to do that? I don't know. Also, raising the standard for excellence with a renewed commitment to increase funding for recruiting and retaining student athletes and staff, along with facility enhancements.
See, that's an explanation.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That makes sense.
Recruiting, facility enhancements. Okay.
Pay your coaches.
I get that.
All that kind of stuff. That is pretty straightforward.
And then the final pillar, changing lives through education by funding student athlete scholarships.
That's basically the first part, but using more words.
Right. Actually, less words, but
whatever.
Still.
More words added on to that other one, so they could have 3 pillars.
Right.
Because it's either 3, 4, or 5 pillars. It's always that.
So that's where the money's supposed to go toward. When I first saw that, of course, those big eyes pop up, like, what? That is a big number. That's going to take them a long time to get that. And then they say, we want to do that in 5 years. Okay. You know what? That's aggressive. Go for it. If Diana Sabo and her staff believe they can get it, man, I applaud them. Great, good for them. I also recognize that there's a lot of donor fatigue out there. So, and it's very confusing. Do I donate to the institution or do I donate to the collective because they keep the athletes here? So theoretically. So it gets complicated. But that's not unique to Utah State. I'm not trying to dump on Utah State's situation. This is common across college athletics. And so I hope they can get it. I'd love to see anything more specific that they can share as to what that goes to instead of ambiguous.
Well, what they don't want to say is this is to pay the coaches, the players, and the facilities. That's the three pillars. Coaches, players, facilities, spend money on them. That's what it is.
And that's fine. I'm okay if we know what that is. I just don't know
But you have to
redefining the student-athlete experience by providing tools for success beyond their athletic careers. I don't know what that means. I need somebody to explain that to me, which I'm sure they can.
They're also paying their PR department. They have to have they have to write this flowery language.
They have something very specific in mind here. It's just I don't know. Do you need $125 million to do that?
Yes, they do.
The others pillars, yeah, I see that you need a lot of millions to do that. 435-339-0321 if you want to weigh in on that. The new fundraising goal for Utah State athletics. Going to take a time out here in the Full Court Press when we come back. How did we do in trying to predict what would happen over the weekend? Pick 6 results coming up next here on the Full Court Press.
When grid failures and severe weather cause power outages, your business might take a hit, or at home, you could lose your refrigerated food storage. Generac Standby Power Solutions help ensure an uninterrupted power supply. Generac is the #1 brand of standby generators. Get yours today from Golden Spike Electric, your trusted source for safety and security. Golden Spike Electric, powering your peace of mind. Online at gscgenerators.com or call 257-3016. They also service other models.
What can a business technology partner do for you? Well, a great one like Les Olson IT will help you become more efficient, more secure, and help you stay on top of your network. Plus, they have all the products and services you need. Computers, servers, business telephones, surveillance cameras, office applications are just the start. Les Olson IT's network cabling team can help you build a network from scratch or improve your existing network. Learn more about your office technology partner at lesolson.com.
Les Olson IT.
Beezer Lock & Key has been providing businesses and homeowners with security for 30 years. Security is priceless, especially if it's guaranteed. No cheap locks, no bad keys, no inadequate hardware, just expertise, precision, and security. Beezer Lock & Key believes there's no place like a safe home, and no home safer than one secured by them. When you want guaranteed security and peace of mind for your home, business, or vehicle, go with the pros on the familiar corner of 4th North and 1st West in Logan. Beezer Lock & Key. Search BeezerLock.com to discover more.
How many years has it been since you were married? 1 year? 10 years? Longer? This is Jarrett from Jarrett's Fine Jewelry. No matter how many years it's been, you always remember just how you felt. Show her you love her all over again with something special from Jarrett's. We can help you surprise her or bring her in and you can pick it out together. Maybe it's restyling the old ring or upgrading to a larger diamond that she just may have hinted about. No matter how many years it's been, let us help make it special on your anniversary.
Jarrett's Fine Jewelry. Make it special. Make it Jarrett's.
It's the Full Court Press, weekday afternoons from 4 to 6 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
How about Chevron Delo 15W40 oil for only $15 a gallon? Or about Valvoline Premium Blue Diesel Oil. It's also on sale. A lot of deals like Rotella and Napa Premium Oils are available at Napa Auto Parts. Oils that work as hard as you do from your locally owned Preston and Providence Napa Auto Parts.
Real quick before we get into Pick 6, Eric. Women's heptathlon 800-meter event, the final event in the heptathlon of the U.S. Olympic Trials, happening at 7:37. Shari Hawkins, former Utah State All-American, currently in second, needs to get top 3 for the chance to be an Olympian. So
on a good pace so far.
Very good pace and very likely at this point.
Exciting.
So getting to Pick 6, we got to get through this really quick here. So let's start with Connor McDavid, Game 6, goals plus assists in Oilers-Panthers. Game 7 of that is tonight. We both took the under on the 1.5 line, and he had 0. He didn't help with any of the 5 goals the Oilers scored to force Game 7. Carlos Sainz qualifying position at the Spanish Grand Prix. Line was 3.5. I took the over. You took the under. He qualified 6th. So I got that one. WNBA, Connecticut Sun against the Las Vegas Aces. Set the line at Sun by 3.5. I took the Aces. You took the Sun. The Aces won that one by 11 points.
Ooh.
So I'm up 3-1. RSL versus the Galaxy. Total goals in that game, 3.5. I took the over. You took the under. Galaxy won that game 1-0. Then Belgium by 1.5 goals over Romania in the Euros. I took the under. You took the over. The over hit because Belgium won 2-0.
Oh,
and then
we're tied?
Yeah, we're tied. And then USA by 1.5 goals over Bolivia. I took the under. You took the over. USA won 2-0.
Ooh.
So you made
on the tiebreaker.
You made a pretty furious comeback there. As I was up 3-1 after all my lines, and then you swept the lines that you set.
Oh, I was getting nervous.
So you win that one 4-3. So there you go. And you would have won the tiebreaker anyways. So.
Oh, nice. There we go.
All right, finished just in time. Had to speed through those results. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Playing receiver has become one of the more lucrative positions in all of football. Justin Jefferson is the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. And players like A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Tyreek Hill all make over $30 million a season. Those types of proven weapons with multiple years of all-pro production are well worth the payday. But much like the quarterbacking position, there doesn't seem to be much of a middle ground when negotiating new deals. The Niners have learned that this season. All-pro receiver Brandon Ayuk, he was a difference maker for the Niners last season, but he's only had one great season, and he's 26 years of age. That could be a cause for concern when you're looking at a $30 million a year cap hit. And with rookie receivers coming into the league more polished than ever, unless you're looking for a contract similar to Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle, teams may start to look towards the draft to fill the void of receivers like T. Higgins and Brandon Ayuk. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.